Thank you, New Hampshire Theatre Alliance, for this amazing recognition and new work. On behalf of Jennifer Barclay, I would like to say, on her behalf, thank you to the New Hampshire Theatre Awards for this honor and for supporting the creation of new American plays. Ripe Frenzy is a play in conversation with our town, which of course is set in New Hampshire. She wrote this as a fellow at MacDowell Colony, which is also in New Hampshire, in spitting distance from the studio where Thornton Wilder wrote Our Town many years before. She began dreaming the idea of this play alongside myself as director and designer collaborator, and of course, as she's putting it, artistic director of Andy Summer Playhouse, which is also in New Hampshire. And so it was a joy for Jen to bring Ripe Frenzy home to this great state. And it was also an utter joy to collaborate with all the outstanding artists at Andy's, a brilliant and unique place where young people are empowered to work alongside professionals producing awesome theater from the ground up. She wants to thank all of her collaborators at Andy's for bringing this play to life in a beautiful, honest way that made her see her work in fresh ways. This play would not exist without the Smith Prize and the National New Play Network, and she would like to thank them for dreaming forward the future of new plays in our country. This all started in fall of 2015 when I went to Jen and I told her about a murder I had just heard about on the news. Allison Parker and Adam Ward, two journalists, killed in cold blood on a live news broadcast in Roanoke, Virginia. A coworker of theirs was disgruntled and wanted to make a point. And with a GoPro, he uploaded the event onto Twitter, which was swiftly taken down, but as we all know, internet is immortal. This was 2 months after the Charleston church shooting, 2 years after Sandy Hook, 16 years after Columbine, and it was actually 2.5 years predating Parkland High School. Jen and I believe that there is an epidemic, and we are living in one of the most divisive moments in our history. It's not about guns, it's not about violence or toxic masculinity, but perhaps a combination of all of that at an intersection with the secret dopamine drip found in our brains when we experience all things social media. We are all addicted, we are all revved, we are all stuck, and we are not talking. So making new work at Andy's and all across this state is what revolutionizes all of this. I'm not talking about a revolution of politics or even guns. I'm talking about a revolution that we in this room are the only experts in: empathy. New work allows us to be on the front line of humanity and creating a civic discourse demanding that people walk in each other's shoes. It models true vulnerability because we feel things right now and we impulsively need to act on it. Empathy. So thank you to the New Hampshire Theatre Alliance for fueling this recognition. I hope that each and every one of us tonight can take a moment to feel this revolution within our hearts, all of our vulnerabilities, all of our fears, all of our joys, all of our loves, and I implore you to rip it out of your sternum and get it onto a piece of paper. Find institutions that will produce it. We will. There are other great organizations in the state that will as well. Even if it's in a living room, get it out into the world. Because it is then, as Jen did here at Andy's, where we see a local community, adults, children, artists, the state, and ultimately the country begin to respond to our own unique words, our own unique communities, our own voice. And that's when we realize at once that we are not alone. We are all together. And that is perhaps how a little local community on a small little hillside in Wilton, New Hampshire can make some change. And statewide communities can change national conversation, and perhaps then we will change the world. New work, empathy, right now. Jen Barclay, Andy Summer Playhouse, thank you very much.